Now to the U.S., where former President Bill Clinton will testify before Congress in a closed-door session about his ties to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Clinton flew on Epstein's plane several times after he left office in the early 2000s, and the latest tranche of documents released by the Justice Department includes photos of him with women whose faces have been redacted. Clinton has denied any wrongdoing and expressed regret for his past association with Epstein. Bill Clinton's testimony follows that of his wife Hillary, who appeared before the panel a day earlier. For more on this, we can cross now to New York and speak to our correspondent there, Jessica Le Masurier. Now, Jessica, we know the Clintons didn't want to testify, and certainly not in closed-door sessions. So some are saying that there might be some testy or even heated exchanges today. What else can we expect?
The Clintons did not want to testify, but once they were threatened with being held in contempt of court, they quickly changed their minds. And yes, you're right, they have pushed for this to be public, but it will all happen for a second day behind closed doors here in Chappaqua. We're just about 3 miles from the Clintons' principal residence, and the deposition is taking place in this building behind me here in Chappaqua, New York. Now, it's really quite extraordinary that we've got a former US president who's going to be questioned in this way. I believe it's pretty much the first time this has ever happened for a former US president to be questioned in this type of scenario. Now, I must make it clear that neither of the Clintons has been accused of any wrongdoing, but they are facing a grilling as regards what they knew about Epstein and his networks, their dealings with him. Now, Hillary Clinton made it very clear in her deposition that she never met Epstein herself, but that is not the case for Bill Clinton. That's why it could get a whole lot more interesting this Friday. We expect this deposition to start at around 11 a.m. Local, so shortly. Bill Clinton will, of course, be here in person with other lawmakers who'll be questioning, and he is expected to have to answer questions about everything he knew, about all of his dealings. Now, Bill Clinton does feature in the released Epstein files. There are photos of him with Epstein. We know that he went in Epstein's private plane on numerous occasions. We also know that Epstein visited the White House when he was president. There are some photos of Bill Clinton in the files, most notably one of him in a hot tub with a young woman whose face is obscured. Another photo of him at a Rolling Stones concert in Hong Kong with Jeffrey Epstein. But Bill Clinton, we expect he will yet again repeat that all or any of his dealings that he had with Jeffrey Epstein, the late sex offender, were always in the context of his charity, of the Clinton Foundation, and he will say that there were no personal dealings, so to speak.
Now, Jessica, you mentioned that you're up there in Chappaqua where the hearing's going to get underway. What's been happening where you are, and how is the public reacting to what's been going on?
Well, of course, the Epstein investigation has been extremely politicized. And today what we're seeing here is some protesters coming to say that Trump should be up there. Trump should be questioned. And that's really one of the main things that came out of the questioning that Hillary faced yesterday, that Democrats are pushing for, both Republicans and Democrats, anybody who had dealings with Epstein to have to be questioned by this House Oversight Committee. And they are pushing for all the files to be released, to stop redacting files in particular that relate to the dealings of the current President of the United States with Jeffrey Epstein.